Hi everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday night Hunter College existential therapy group. I think we've covered a lot of good ground in the last month. We've spoken to Donnell about his fear of death. We've spoken to Maria about her fear of the future. And I think we said that tonight we were going to speak to Lindsay a little bit about some of the anxiety that she's feeling. But before we do that, why don't we do a real quick check-in and see how everyone's doing for not more than 2 seconds each. You want to start? Go ahead, Anthony. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing terrible, but at least it's not my fault.
Lindsay?
I mean, as usual, I'm feeling like really anxious about a lot of different things. Nothing really, different than how I was feeling before.
Okay, Maria?
I'm doing okay. Still more or less searching for meaning in my life.
All right, did you finally make a decision on what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well,
I think I chose English as my major.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
But what if you don't like it?
I think I'm pretty sure I do like it. I'm taking a lot of courses in English.
Okay, well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling somewhat melancholy, but kind of working through it.
About the death of your grandmother?
Yes.
Okay. So what I've noticed and what we were talking about was that when everyone's talking about their problems, Lindsay, you kind of, it feels like you're internalizing their problems and making them your own, or you're feeling anxiety from that. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, because not only do I feel anxious about everything I'm already feeling anxious about, but then like when I think about how many other things are out there to feel anxious about, and then I hear everybody else talking about like things they're going through, it's hard not to think like, well, what if that happens to me, or what if they don't like it, or it could always be lots of things that could go wrong.
So in existential therapy, we say that there's normal anxiety to life stressors. So being upset about hearing about, let's say, Donnell's grandmother passing away is normal, but to the point where you're fearing for your own life, we tend to say it's becoming neurotic anxiety. And I just want to check in with everyone about that word neurotic, and maybe do they have any feedback for Lindsay about how it makes them feel when she's reacting to what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I remember last week when we were here, I mentioned that my grandmother passed away, and you sort of began to behave as though you had passed away. You mentioned that you were fearful for your own life, and I don't know, just kind of seemed a little excessive.
Yeah, when I started mentioning that I wasn't sure of what to major in, and and also my whole financial aid situation, it was running out, so I had to pick something, and then you mentioned something like, okay, well, what if that happens to me? What if I become the new Maria? So you also mentioned that too.
And Anthony, I know you haven't had a chance to really talk, but you have commented too, and we're just giving Lindsay some feedback because we said we were going to focus on her this evening. So do you have any kind of feedback for her that you've noticed from our sessions?
I mean, I do notice that she's, anxious about a lot of things, especially when it's not her case, but I mean, there's a lot to worry about. It's not necessarily, out of the ordinary. I feel for you.
So I thought we could take a couple of minutes, and I think, Lindsay, you're very smart, you're very attractive, you have a lot of things going for you, you're clearly well educated, but you do seem freaked out by a lot of stuff. And I just wanted to, it's not, I don't think it's enough just to tell someone, hey, this is how you reacted. I think we should offer some solutions. Like what are some ways, let's quickly tell Lindsay one way that she can maybe stop herself from getting to the point where right now I can tell she's feeling anxious. She's fidgeting, folding her hands, and I want to make this about you, Lindsay, because we're here to be helped, and we do want to help you genuinely. So Donnell, is there anything you could offer to her? Just a quick suggestion about when you're at the point of normal anxiety, and then you go from 0 to 60, and suddenly it's neurotic anxiety.
I mean, whenever I'm anxious, I like to step back and appraise what's going on. What are the factors which are causing me to feel anxious? I think that's pretty useful. So I think it would be good for everyone to do that too.
Okay, that's a good suggestion, Maria.
Well, I think, well, does it really matter what we actually do in this life? Because eventually we're gonna die.
So what does that mean? I mean, what does that mean? That eventually we're going to die? Like, just explain that really quickly.
We'll have probably a purpose in the afterlife, not this life, but once we die.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, but like, when you get getting nervous that your parents are going to cut you off, or you start getting nervous about, not graduating or whatever, didn't that make you do something though? So isn't anxiety like good sometimes too?
There's normal anxiety which can motivate you to make change, or to create change in your life, or to become an authority in your own life. And then there's neurotic anxiety, which from our conversations tends to hold you back because you feel trapped by fear. And so is that what you're feeling?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. I just feel like things are going well right now. So like I'm always scared that things aren't going to go well. Because I feel like, especially like when I wasn't doing well on those tests the last couple times we talked, I got really scared that like everything was going to come crashing down because like other things are going well in my life. So I kind of feel like not everything can go well at the same time. And so I don't know if I'm like necessarily held back by fear. Like I still think I'm a functioning individual, but like I just have these thoughts all the time about like, well, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? And that can be hard, like for me to sleep and stuff like that.
So what's going well in your life? What's one thing that's going good in your life right now?
Well, I mean, I'm in college, so that's good. And I have good friends and family, so that's good.
Those are great.
Yeah.
You have a good support system. Anthony,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
I have one piece of advice for you. I mean, like, you said yourself that like you didn't do well in past exams, but like sometimes there are things that aren't up to you. Like you can't help it. It's out of your hands. It's like maybe the test was made really hard by the professor and it was his fault, or maybe things aren't going well at home. Maybe because like everyone else around you, maybe not necessarily you. So maybe you should just step back and just realize that there are bigger forces out there that are in control. You just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I guess. I just think it's hard to do that sometimes when I feel like I sometimes feel like I'm like the writer of my own destiny,
You just read my mind. Yes, we're all the authors of our own book. So I think you seem more relaxed now that we're talking. And unfortunately, we're out of time. But I think next week we want to touch on a little bit on what Anthony. It seems like you're always saying to not be the author of your own book, but to have a ghostwriter. Let somebody else write your destiny for you, or blame other people for what's going right or wrong in your life. So we'll talk about that next week. But thank you so much, and have a good night, and I'll see you next week.